Beep, 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 beep. Hello, peapods. I'm out and about. Hey, I was at Parents for Ethical Care conference where I was speaking last night in Texas. Yeehaw! So that was fantastic to see everybody. Alex was there. Miriam was there. Great, right? It was a really good evening. So usual thing, buy me a coffee, become a warrior teacher, all the usual stuff. Going to start advertising that next week. Ready for the next cohort. Yay! Bring them on. So, Dominic Raab, right? Dominic Raab, right? Okay. Everybody's having a bit of a go about him, aren't they? Because, he was a bully, he did this, he did that, he did the other. Yeah, right, okay. Anybody who's worked for the civil service will know, anybody who's been in the civil service will know, that, getting things done is just murderously difficult, and they don't understand the difference between bullying and being told to do your job. So I'll be interested to see the full report. I imagine he possibly was a bully, same as Priti Patel. But then, bullying's a subjective term, isn't it? So, you would think to yourself, well, what have the union got to say? Let's discuss the union. One of the unions that works for the civil service is called PCS, right? And I found this. I can't find the original document, but I'm going to read it because it's funny, okay? And it's a nice little short before I go back to work. And it gives me a chance to talk to you lot, which I always thoroughly enjoy. So, what would the union opinion be on certain things? If we're worried about Dominic Raab, let's have a look at the union. PCS, I think they're called, PCS. Yeah, this is rather fun, I think. Rather fun is the word I'd use, is rather fun. So this is Ministry of Justice Associated Office, the ADC. Well, I don't know what that is, but they're noting something here. It's a very strange thing to see appear in a union document. That 31st of January this year was the 40th anniversary of founding of the London scene. Now, what scene do we think they're talking about? Could it be flower arranging? Could it be crochet? Could it be cake baking? What scene are they talking about? Is it the cake baking scene? Let's go to the next line and find out. We note that BDSMers need protection in law as many are fired if their employers find out. I'll pause for a moment, just let you take that on board. BDSMers. Golden Rain, Miss Stern. Oh, yes. Winky Poos and Bot Bots, it's all a bit personal service, isn't it? With Julie Walters, remember that film? With all the men that liked a bit of bondage and been spanked and dressed up as school kids. It was all a bit perverse. So I'm going to read number 2 again, point 2 again. Look, BDSMers need protection in law as many are fired if their employers find out. You shouldn't fire somebody because they've got a fetish. On the other hand, if they're sticking their arse piece all over Twitter, right? Or, or you've got them in the company magazine with a ball gag in their mouth and a gimp mask on, don't complain when you get fired for having no moral standards in public, right? I don't care what you do. I don't care. If you want to put your nuts in a vice, right, and cover up your eyes with spikes and choke on a plum, I do not care, right? I don't give a monkey's toss. But if you're working for the public sector and you put your arse piece or your wibbly danglers, right, or your, bloody pierced vag lips or whatever it is in the public superhighway and you get identified, more fool you. So the BDSMers need protection in law as many as are fired if they're... Okay, really? The BDSM code is safe, sane, consensual. Safe, sane... I have no problem with any of this, right? You have to do what you want. That apart from those with another special characteristic, PCS does not supply support for them. And they believe that as a minority group who are discriminated against, they should have a support group in PCS. So the Union for the Civil Service is now going to have a bondage and sadomasochistic group. Welcome to the DWP. Get your strides off. I'm going to beat you on the bottom with a Woman's Weekly. Tell me it's not real. I can't. Where the hell does this come from? That BDSMers should have equal rights and protections as other discriminated against groups have. So they're comparing people who like to flagellate, or put locks on their cobblers, or whatever it is they do, with people who are disabled. They're talking about BDSM as if it is an intrinsic built-in thing. But then these are the same people who think the trans kids exist, so I'm not surprised. PCS, which is the name of the union, should support and campaign for their rights. That mutual informed consent should be what is needed before erotic activity is carried out. This is in a union document for civil servants on the public dime. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. So what they want to do is to establish a support network for BDSMers within the civil service, to campaign for their rights. What rights don't you have to wrap yourself in leather and, hang yourself up by your ear? What rights don't you have? Marrows up the backside. Aubergines up your jacksie. I don't know what you're doing. I don't care. I just don't want you doing it on the public dime. It's to campaign for their rights, to forward a similar motion to the TUC conference, to promote mutually informed consent, to establish training courses for members on consent and negotiation. So they want to provide BDSM training. This can't be true. They want to provide BDSM training. This has got to be a joke. Somebody's winding me up. Who sent me this? To establish training courses for members on consent and negotiation. This can't be real, he says. So I'm going to have to do a little bit more investigating. But I thought I'd stick it out there anyway, just so you can have a look at it. Because, all sorts going down in there. Why not include this lot? Bang me on the bottom with a woman this week. Bend me over backwards on my hostess trolley. Let's do it in the DWP, HMRC and the MOJ. It's astounding. God almighty. Somebody else do the research. Is this actually real? Put it in the Dubris, right? Let me know if it's actually real. Somebody else go and have a look. I've got things to do today. But it wouldn't surprise me. Because these people will go as far as they have to go. Trans child, they think that exists. Yeah. This is the kind of nuttery we're faced to. What next? BDSM, what next? Felching? Is that a thing? I'm not sure. What's the one where you fart in people's mouths? Oh, no, that's just bad manners. Right. Go on before I spank you. See you later, peeps.